Hi, my name is Josh Wahl. I was the co-producer, co-writer, and director of Don't Be a Stranger. Don't Be a Stranger follows a group of friends who go up to a remote house in the woods to celebrate one of their friends' birthdays, and while they're there, they encounter an otherworldly entity. So this idea was actually brought to me by Julia and Chelsea. They wanted to do something more along the lines of like The Office meets Cabin in the Woods, more mockumentary, darker humor style. And it eventually morphed into something more deep and emotional and personal. It really started off with Julia, Chelsea, and I having just general meetings of certain character traits that we wanted to incorporate and certain influences that we wanted to kind of bounce off of. We're very inspired by The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock and films like It Follows and Black Swan. There's a little bit of everything in this movie, Silence of the Lambs. And we just wanted to make sure that we really knew the style and the tone of what we were going for. When we were in pre-production, it was interesting. I was a little bit more nervous than I had been on previous projects because this was my first horror movie, and there were many times where I thought I wasn't right to direct it, or maybe they should find someone else, or I can just stay on as a creative consultant. But as an artist, you have to challenge yourself. You have to push yourself more to grow. So Sully and I made sure that we had everything as planned out as possible, and again, working with a lot of our references and influences, but also making sure I had the right crew. You know, all of these people I had worked with before, while also bringing on some new faces, and I want to make sure we had a good established trust. I wanted to make sure that we all knew what the project was. We had faith in the project. We could get it done. We just had to make sure that we were working quickly and timely and not really going off schedule too much. Again, I think once we hit the first actual day and we looked at everything that we had, and we looked at the scenes that we were working with that day, and again, certain happy accidents just made things fall right into place. There were days where we were waiting around and it kind of, the day just went by. Because of the way the lighting needs to be, or because of the way that the barn looks, we needed to kind of wait a little bit for the sun to pass. You know, then it just becomes, you know, a total race against the clock to get all the shots done. So we would have 10 shots to do in an hour, and the sun's going down, so we would have to move and, you know, make it work. And, you know, luckily we did. I'm particularly proud of a shot that involves Jamie, Jake, and Kirsten, where they're back in the barn and the camera just circles around them, because it's my favorite camera movement, just to have it circling around two characters is in this chaotic moment, and like having the dialogue just like going back and forth. And I really love that shot. And then I guess in terms of a full scene, I'm a big fan of the Jamie-Kirsten interaction when they're playing beer pong with one another, using the minimal setup of just their close-ups, looking right into the camera, the fuzziness of the shots, and the way that it has this investigatory feel to it, like you think you're kind of under interrogation, and that energy is given off between both Julia and Chelsea, and I love that scene. I think it came together really well. You know, when we were writing the short, we didn't really have any big intentions to make it anything more than just that. Really, the idea came from Julia and Chelsea wanting to make their own media for their reels. And so I thought we would just make this one project and then maybe move on to the next and move on to something else. But Julia, Chelsea, and I had another meeting after shooting had wrapped up, and we realized that there were more ideas that we could implement to make it a feature. Ever since then, Julia and I have been meeting once a week to flesh out our ideas and write scenes and really solidify a good outline for the story. And it's been really fun because we've been able to go more into kind of the backstory of the group. How did they get to here? And where are they gonna go? Like, what changes can be made? What are some ideas that we implemented in the short that we can actually expand on? And so right now we are currently working towards finishing a draft, and that's super exciting. We're currently raising funds for the feature with various fundraisers and campaigns. It's a great experience either way, and I've been thrilled through this whole process to do it.